Okay, in this guitar instructional video, I have a viewer that asked me about 5 pentatonic shapes. Yeah, there's 5 pentatonic shapes for every key, and I'm going to go over the minor pentatonic. These are in E minor. So pentatonic means you're just playing 5 different notes. You're not playing 7 different notes. Remember, for every diatonic major or minor scale, there's 8 notes. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. The first and 8th note is always the same note. It's just an octave higher. And but this is concentrating on pentatonic, which means 5 different notes. So I'm going to take over. I'm going to go over each one. Okay, and then I'm going to show you what it looks like. So we're going to start. This is the open position. Okay, this pentatonic shape. Open E, and then the 3rd fret of the 6th string, 5th fret. Now you're going to play the 2nd and the 5th frets on both the 5th and 6th strings. So you have, with your 1st and 4th fingers, that's 2nd and 5th frets, 3rd string, 2nd and 4th. And what's easy about this, even though I played that open E and I went the 3rd and 5th frets, the 2nd and 1st strings are also the 3rd and 5th frets. Try to get to the point where you're going to alternate your picking. Down, up, okay? And be sure to play this up and back. So, once again, you can go backwards as well. Change my fingering a little bit there, but you get the point. Now you're going to see the first line here, okay? Ignore that last note. You can go back to it if you want. Basically, go over these notes. So we started in G, okay? On that G note with the 3rd fret, but the first one I put it, that's an E right there. Should probably put that down. The first one is an E, and I'm referring to this one as open. First pentatonic shape, 5 different notes. There you go. There, that's it. You can play that last note if you want. I don't know why I have it on there. But you can go from the E to that A and then back. Okay, so that's the open. If you want to change keys, you could start on the A. I'm going to talk about that later, all right? Or if you're in C, all right, you don't have to be necessarily an open C. There's not an open C, but you can play the C right there. I'll show you what I mean later, okay? And now the next one is, you're familiar with this one. Up on the 12th fret, I'm sure a lot of you are, the basic pentatonic scale. So we're going open to this classic shape, this classic blues pentatonic shape. 1 4 1 3 1 3 1 3 1 4 1 4. Because there's a lot of scales to go over. I'm not going to pretty much go over that one. You can check out one of my videos, how to play a blues scale. How to play a blues scale with the extension, or you can just look at this as well. Okay, that's the last one. You notice that I got some notes written on there, E, G, A, so on and so forth. Okay, that's that scale. This essentially is a closed position with that shape of the open. It's essentially that. So, and be sure to go back and forth and alternate your picking. Classic scale. Best scale. So, in the E minor or the E pentatonic, the E blues scale, it's a minor scale, but you can call it E blues. It has an E note, a G note, an A note, a B note, and a D note. So what do I do about these other 3 patterns coming up? Well, I can start on different notes. Like this one, you could also say this would be pattern 4, but I'll go over that with the open. But I wanted to give you an open scale of it as well. So maybe this is going to turn into 6 patterns. So the first pattern, you know that there is an A in it. So I'm going to start on the A note, which happens to be on the 6th string, 5th fret. And I'm going to play this pattern. I'm going to let you go backwards as well. I'm just going to go ascending. I started on the A because I know that in the E pentatonic, there are 5 different notes. E, G, A, B, D. So this pattern 1, which I'm going to call pattern 1, is starting on the A. So on the 6th and 5th strings, I'm playing the 5th and 7th frets with my 1st and 3rd fingers, as well as the 4th string. It's one of the easiest ones to learn. Now you're going to go to the 4th fret on the 3rd string with your 1st finger, 7th fret with your 4th finger on that 3rd string. Now keep this 1/4 pattern on the 2nd string as well, but you're going to move up from the 4th to the 5th fret, and then you're going to play that 5th and 7th frets. So that pattern is pretty much going to stay the same, even when you transpose. So that's an E. Starts on an A, doesn't resolve on the E. That's pattern 1 of these 5 pentatonic shapes. There's the open again. And basically, if you started right here on the G, we'd call that, I don't know, that could be, that could even be pattern 1. This could be pattern 2. Because I'm just going in order of the notes, G, A, B, D. So why don't we call, make it simpler for you guys. This open is also pattern 1. So the open, because you could play it with the open, that'd be an additional one. So now I'm giving you like 6 different scales. But the more the merrier. Pattern 1, because you're starting on that G. Because in the blues scale, down here, you have an E, G, and then what we just played was pattern 2. That's starting on the A. Okay, so we've gone over 3 of them so far. Hope I'm not going too fast. Just stop the tape if you have to. We just played this one. We also played this one, which is the regular. That's the regular blues scale. And we're going to call this pattern 1. Instead of playing that open E, start on that G. And in this case, if you want to go to the E, that's okay. So, starting on that G note is pattern 1. Starting on the A is pattern 2. And we just got to go over pattern 3 and pattern 4, which is going to give us a total of 6. But if you don't want to include the open, just the five pentatonic shapes, this is the first one. Okay. Here's the second one. Now here's the third one. This one's easy too. I started on B, in that case. In this particular case. Lost my guitar pick. There it is. Let's try that again. We're starting on the 6th string every one of these patterns, we're going to start on the 6th string, okay? 7th fret, 10th fret, 7th fret, 10th fret on the 5th string. For both the 4th and 3rd string, 7th and 9th, 2nd, 8th, and 10th. And then the 1st string will always be the same as the 6th. That was the 7th and 10. 7, 10, 7, 10, 7, 9, 7, 9, 8, 10, 7, 10. That's an E pentatonic. That is a blues scale, although we're starting on the B note. And that's pattern 3, and that starts on the 7th fret on the B. The last one is pattern 4. That starts on a D. I use this one a lot. I've seen alternative blues scales. You've seen some of my videos on alternative blues scales. And this is what this is. These are alternatives. But they're all blues scales. They're all different shapes. Different ways of playing a pentatonic or a blues scale. And remember, we're in the key of E. I want to, not to be over repetitive. I want you guys to understand that. So we're starting on a D. Okay, because you have an E, a G, an A, a B, and a D. You have 5 different notes in this scale. And that's the basic blues scale that everybody learns. And we've covered the ones that started in G, the one which was pattern 1. First I called it an open, now we refer to it as pattern 1. Pattern 2 on the A. Pattern 3 on the B, pattern 4, so we have 5 different shapes, is on the D, and we play 10th and 12th on the 6th string, 10th and 12th frets with the 1st and 3rd fingers on the 5th string, and then on the 4th and 3rd strings, you're going to play the 9th and 12th frets with your 1st and 4th fingers, and then the 2nd and 1st strings are just like the 6th and the 5th, 10th and 12th frets. Starts on a D note. I'm going to show you that pattern right there. Be sure to use them all. Okay? Now, how do I know which ones to use if I want to go to a different key? All right? Well, there you go. You can take a screenshot of those. Say if I want to go to A. First of all, I got to figure out what the notes are in A. A, the 5 different notes in the A pentatonic, which is A, C, D, E, G. So if I just... Then I'm going to go to C. All right? And the distance between an A and the C is A to B to C, which is a step and a half. Well, let's figure out what we had for E, which is just a step and a half. That would be to G. So basically, you're just going to use this pattern right here. Use those patterns just the same way, the shapes, just the same way that you use for E. Okay? I know that I had this one at first. As an open as well, but just think of that. If you want to play an open E, that's open as well, but just use this shape. 1, 3, 1, 4 as far as your fingers go. 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. But you see that I'm playing, and I'm going down a half step, staying down in the half step. Play that again, so that's pattern 1. Or you can look at it and you can memorize it because you're going to play that in C if you're in the key of A. So you would play it Sorry about that. It could be. And then just take the pattern 2, pattern 3, being that if you're in the key of A now, and you know that C, that's your first pattern. D is your second pattern. You play it that way. And so on and so forth. Hope that's not too confusing. All right, because